Welcome, everybody. This is Abacus Fish, and we are playing Old School Essentials via Roll20. I'm joined by 5 players today. We have Joe,
Heyo.
Seth,
Hey, hey.
Jessica,
Hello.
Matt,
Hail, friends.
and Kellen.
Salutations.
And yes, we are doing old school. We're doing an Old School Essentials Hexcrawl style, where basically I have no control over what the players choose to do. It's just kind of this open world. And yeah, besides that is like no main plot, nothing like that. It's entirely up to them to decide what to do. I do come up with events and triggers and hooks and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's up to the players to react to however they want to react to it. And so before we begin the game and do all this review, I would like to take an opportunity to have everybody kind of introduce their character, and we'll just start with Stickbeard and keep going right. So Stickbeard, what does Stickbeard look like?
Good evening, everybody. Stickbeard is a very fairly traditional dwarf. Stout, middle-aged, bearded, coarse, dry skin, dirty hair, the whole bit. And a smith by trade. So the name is fitting. And he wields a two-handed battle axe that he fashioned himself.
And Seth, what does Theron
And-
Smith look like?
And I play Therum Smith, who's also kind of a traditional looking dwarf, but is the cousin of Goldie Smith, who perished in the last session. And Therum is mourning his uh, his cousin Goldie and feels a need to venture outward in order to make amends for her death.
Okay, and Jessica, what does Melina Shieldheart look like?
Melina Shieldheart is a sturdy looking young human woman. She's got pretty plain features and some scraggly wild hair that she keeps braided. She tends to have a downturned look, doesn't meet people in the eyes when talking to them very often. But she is um, strong enough to help her family when building new outposts or adding buildings to town, which they used to do before the diaspora.
And Matt, you want to tell us a little bit about Brock?
Brock, half giant, is 6'2", broad-shouldered, blonde, about 30, full beard and shoulder length hair. He is stunningly good looking and is a very popular member of the community, as he was a front runner for being kind of the leader of his family. And in the backstory, he's been very kind of action forward with the whole community's kind of travel to this new realm.
All right, and Kellen, please describe for us the new character, this elf, Svardfisk Farron.
Yes, Svardfisk Farron. He has aqua-colored hair and cyan eyes. Hair comes down to about his ears. He dons leather armor, but is adorned with various seashells. He's a fisher by trade. He's uneasy around humans, but even more uneasy on the mainland. The ocean is truly where he feels most at home, so he's accepted that he has to lean into some discomfort in order to survive this new world he finds himself in.
All right. And so these adventurers, just a bit of review as to what has transpired in these past 3 days, actually. Only 2 sessions, but I'll get to the third day. So a few days after you guys had landed, it was Treaty, the 13th of Germinal, 7932, year of Cosgrove. Marin Shieldheart implored his fellow refugees to look for food and supplies. The camp was in dire straits. The first party, Melina, Goldie, and Stickbeard, volunteered to spearhead the search. The party went hunting, was confronted by Otis Rivercobb, and ended up being led to another NPC, Father Cosmos. Father Cosmos told you guys of the Blight Tree. You guys went over to the Blight Tree and fought off the undead. Melina discovered her capability to cause the undead to retreat. And then you grabbed a wand with a tuning fork on the end of it and a purse of silver coins. You ended up dropping 2 of those silver coins. Oh yeah, by the way, you killed the lizard man and took the silver shield. You also did that.
Yeah.
And then in Quarterdy, the 14th of Germinal, 7932 year of Cosgrove, Marin Shieldheart has have fallen ill. Brock, Half Giant, organized a party after Lady Lita Vargas stopped by and was really upset that the undead had wandered into her town, and scouts had reported that, quote, 2 dwarves and a meekish-looking girl were messing around with a blight tree. So, yeah, if you're not a fan of that, but Brock, kind of took responsibility, said, we're going to take care of this problem. On the way to take care of this problem, you met a strange knight who doesn't talk. But she has turned out, and you found out that she was a she. And she, too, has something against the undead, but you're not quite sure, and there's something to do with the Silver Shield and her quest, but you're also not quite sure. And you've allowed her to camp with you. And yes, also what happened that day is actually the 14th of Germinal will forever be known as Goldie's Score among your community. It was the biggest, Goldie was one of those people who had always talked about winning big, and she finally did. But, at what cost? And so everybody's got real mixed feelings about it. And so that's why on Quintidi, the 15th of Germinal, everybody just kind of stopped. You still had enough food to go another day, and just everybody just ran out of gas. A lot of mixed feelings. Marin Shieldheart is still feeling sick, so that's also kind of put a damper because he's the oldest of the humans. And is seen as kind of the town elder. So for him to be bedridden is really just put a damper. And now it is Sextidy, the 16th of Germinal, 7932, year of Cosgrove. And we actually start a couple hours before dawn. Stickbeard, you are having a dream. You are back at the ruined tower that you were just a couple days ago. On the platforms leading to the tower, you see Goldie running. And you immediately try running after her, but your foot gets stuck between the platforms, and you just can't pull it out. And Goldie's getting further and further away from you, and finally you're able to pull your arm or pull your leg out and run jumping through the platforms, but it almost feels like you're running through water as you do. You just can't seem to pick up any kind of acceleration, but you eventually, after what seems like hours, get into the other side into the old tower. But instead of being inside a building, you find yourself in your in a tall grove in the ancient dwarven tomb that the smiths had there underground. And you see like all the sculptures depicting all the dead dwarves as you walk down. And you see one that's labeled as Goldie, but you don't see a statue. As you try to take a closer look and peer into the nook, zombified Goldie like pops out and grabs you, and that's when you wake up.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I wake up like heaving, like full blown panic attack. Then just like bolt upright, giant heavy breaths, like I just ran a fucking marathon kind of a thing. And I would look around, I would try and assess like what time it might be. Like the sun hasn't come up yet, so I'm not entirely sure how long I would have slept. But like assuming nobody else wakes up, it would take me probably a good, I want to say like 15 minutes, maybe, and probably longer, just to like will myself back to reality. But like I'm not gonna be functioning 100% the next morning, definitely.
Well, nothing mechanical will affect your character. I'm not going to give you just penalties just straight off before you even get a chance to roll. But one thing I am curious is perhaps for 20 or 30 minutes you can't sleep. What is it that you do to get back to sleep? Something to soothe Stickbeard.
You know what? I probably take a little longer than 20 minutes. I actually take. I go for, let's say, a brief walk. Let's say I grab my tools. I go for a brief walk, just far enough that I think I am out of earshot of the camp, and I start going to town on my tools, like cleaning all the blades, sharpening them all, like pounding out new metal, basically like performing maintenance as a way for me to focus on something other than Goldie's death. And I actually think I'd take longer, like maybe an hour or so. But just something to take my mind off of what happened.
Okay, great. And this can be anybody who is doing night watch of your camp. Again, no mechanical penalties or whatever, but is anybody out at night?
If nobody else, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say that sounds like something Melina would do at some point, so it could be her.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay, Melina, you see Stickbeard just kind of like walk out of the camp, like with his hands full of tools, and he just kind of hurriedly paces towards the camp's edge.
Oh dang.
Also, Melina, you notice that that silent knight, who Brock and company brought back. Yeah, she's also awake, and she takes she's been staring at the moon for a while, but when Stickbeard starts like walking towards the edge of the camp, it actually gets the silent knight's attention.
Oh, is she doing anything about it? Is she following?
She looks over for a second, um, and then yeah, just starts slowly approaching Stickbeard, like not as hurried as Stickbeard is. Just kind of slowly walking. Oh yeah, by the way, the other person that's out, well, maybe not person, but horse is Lucky. Lucky is sleeping next to Goldie's grave, and Lucky kind of looks up as Stickbeard kind of like walks out towards the edge of the camp.
Oh, dang. Well,
And if I
Poor
can jump
Lucky.
in here for just a quick second.
Sure.
Yeah. So, in case it informs your behavior, Jess, Brock did vouch for the Silent Night when he brought her back to camp, and basically said that she fought beside them, and that Brock at least trusts her. So you do have that knowledge at least.
Well, that's useful because I think without that, Melina would be pretty suspicious of this new person that isn't one of the villagers. But if Brock says she's okay, that's okay by me. So I guess I won't follow them, but I'll try and calm Lucky down a little if she seems disturbed.
Not necessarily. It's kind of like when an animal wakes up, they kind of like poke their head out, look up, but then just start. Lucky just kind of huffs and goes back to relaxing.
Then I'll just tell her that's okay, girl, and continue keeping an eye out for. Maybe I'll drift farther that way in case I can hear any signs of trouble, but I don't want to like follow and actually get caught eavesdropping or anything. Does that make sense? Just patrol more heavily on that side?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeping an eye out for any other villagers that might be waking up that I can ask what to do because this is not covered in the manual.
Right. Right. So Stickbeard, you're going about cleaning your tools when you hear the shuffle of chainmail and footsteps approaching you.
I needed something to take my mind off of her. Leave me be. And assuming no reaction, I'd actually look around to see who or what it was that has come up next to me.
It's the silent night. It's the strange night that you guys brought back.
It's you. Sorry.
She starts walking closer, and she holds out her hand like as if to say, "Can I help?"
Though kind of visibly distraught, trying to interpret what that means. I don't know. I don't know. Nothing can bring her back.
Um,
I su-
she sits down, kind of grabs one of the other tools that you kind of had on the side, and begins just kind of polishing it.
oh. Yeah, actually, that would help. Here, I'll hand things off to you after I've done the major work, if you don't mind polishing them up.
She nods.
So, and then yeah, I would go back to solemnly. Well, yeah. I just throw myself back into the work. But now, once I've gotten a blade sharp or a piece of metal into the shape I want, rather than. Well, yeah, once I've gotten it to the shape that I want, I hand it off to the Silent Knight instead of just throwing it into a pile.
Yeah, and the Silent Knight just kind of follows your pace, just waits by your side and helps you as you polish your tools.
Right.
And now it is morning and people are waking up.
Whew.
Okay, well, I think Brock is up before dawn. He's feeling guilty about the events of the day before, so he's up very early.
2 days before.
2 days before, excuse me, and he's getting ready. He's got a lot. He's been thinking about the challenges that the group face. He's been thinking about ways they might improve their situation, and he is spending the hour before dawn, sort of like preparing mentally and thinking, going through a mental checklist of the things they need to do and the things they need to acquire. So if others are waking up at around dawn, that's what they see Brock doing is kind of pacing around the camp, going through, talking to himself as he goes through all of the plans that he's making.
So he's outside of his tent?
Yes, he's out in the camp, kind of just walking around, boots on, armor on, shield on his back, ready to go.
Okay.
Excellent. Melina desperately wants to give him an update on what she has seen in this morning hours, but she doesn't want to interrupt, so she's just nearby, not looking, just
I
waiting.
imagine their meet is like Brock is like striding by, kind of like eyes on the ground, and then stops abruptly and looks up and sees her there.
Yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Hi, Brock. What's
Good
up?
morning, Melina. I am preparing for the day. We have much to do. We have challenges facing us, and we will not improve our situation unless we keep moving forward.
Mm, so wise. So Stickbeard did leave a little bit ago. I didn't want to interrupt him. He looked very upset. But then that knight that you brought back went after him, so I guess they're okay. So anyway, I just thought I should let you know. Should I have gone after them, you think?
Brock will think for a moment, and then he says, "No, you behaved appropriately. Stickbeard has much to grieve at the moment."
Little wave of relief washes over her. Do you think I should go get them now?
Yes. Why don't you move about camp and gather anybody who is willing to go on an expedition? I have a plan. Let's see if they will hear it.
I'll do that.
Okay. So, I would ask the two remaining characters, which would be Therum Smith and Svardvisk Farron. Where does Melina Shieldheart find you when she awkwardly asks you to join on today's traveling crew?
Oh, I'm waking up after another long night of reminiscing over Goldie. Kind of a rough morning, but I'm awakened, and I'm proud to go out on any sort of expedition or trip to.
So, like, maybe you stumble out to the campfire, just kind of waiting for your coffee to warm up.
Oh yeah. I just stumble out to the campfire and look around and.
Excellent.
waiting for the coffee to warm up. I see other people have already kind of stirred, and good morning to you all.
Hello. Will you join us on our Brock's expedition? It's not my expedition. I'm just. But Brock is trying to get people together for an expedition today. Many challenges. He says.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Feel like I should be useful around here. Been sitting around too much. I need to get out.
Great. There's just a couple other people I'm gonna go check with, and then I have to ask my mom if I can go. My grandfather's very sick, so I hope she allows me this.
Okay, Svardvisk Farron, what are you doing?
I am readying a boat. Gonna do me some fishing.
Oh,
That is where you will find me.
are you leaving us? Tell me your character's name
Oh,
again. Svard.
Svardfisk.
Svardfisk. Are you setting off on your own today?
With everything that's been transpired, we all have our own way, and this was mine. Was there something you needed?
Well, some of us are getting ready to go out as a group, and you would be welcome to join us. The more the
I
merrier.
pondered this for a moment, looking at the waves, looking back at you, weighing my options. Out of curiosity, I nod and say, You'll have my attention. Let's hear what he has to say. I go
Great.
checking it. Yeah. So I join you.
Hooray. I will proudly lead any of these folks back to the campfire so we can discuss.
Stickbeard and the Silent Knight make it back to the camp on their own accord.
Great.
So, okay, Brock, you got them all around the campfire.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look around at the assemblage of adventurers for the day. I think Brock has a brief moment where he sees the two dwarves. He has an impulse to immediately apologize, but puts that aside just for now. Friends, it is obvious that we can't stay on this lonely scrap of beach forever. We have to find ourselves a more permanent home. And to do that, we will have to make friends amongst the locals that we have found here. Lady Vargas came to us and gave us a task to clear out the undead at the cursed tree, and we did that. I believe that Lady Vargas might be a good friend to us. And Brock will go digging through his pack, and he's going to pull out the necklace. Atticus, I remember it was like an amber necklace that we got from the skeletal champion at the cursed tree. Is that correct?
I will describe it again. It
Okay.
is a gold, mostly white gold necklace with a white gold chain. It has platinum mounts that have opals in them of various sizes. But the centerpiece is a tiger's eye opal that has what they say in, I think the term is, has lots of fire.
All right, and we know that this thing isn't magical because we asked the shack wizard if it was, and he said no.
Right.
Also, there was a shack wizard in the last adventure.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Colrus, the old elf.
Yeah, so we have made contact with an old elf wizard who lives in a shack down south, and he is now friendly to us. Anyway, I will like present this necklace, and I will say I think we should present this as a gift to Lady Vargas. this will demonstrate that we are valuable friends to have, and it will also give us an opportunity to brag about our victory. And I think that those are two important things to establish, because if we can get Lady Vargas as an ally, she could help us find a more permanent place to live, either by incorporating with her town or pointing us towards a place of unsettled land that we might uh, uh, establish our community at, because we can't stay on the beach forever.
True.
And I will then look to the rest of the party here and kind of try to gauge the reaction to that idea.
Quick question. Does Lady Vargas get along with the king that we heard about? We met the protector of the king for a realm nearby.
That's Sir
Was this-
Otis Rivercob. And you've
Yes.
picked up on the idea that they do not like each other.
So that would mean if we sided with Lady Vargas, kind of making some enemies along with friends? Possibly. Sounds dangerous.
Well, we're vulnerable as long as we stay here to anybody is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an in with Lady Vargas. We don't, but unfortunately we don't with Sir Rivercob.
It's true. He wasn't exactly friendly. What do the rest of you all think?
Therum agrees that we can't stay on the beach. We need to find someplace more permanent.
It sounds like Lady Vargas is our best bet, at least for the moment. I hate the idea of it. The idea of it, but it sounds like we're going to make one enemy one way or the other, but our hand feels forced.
I remember some words my father told me. Some people will love you, some will hate you, and some will think you're okay.
Huh.
And I don't think there's really any avoiding any negative outcome to any choice we make. There will be consequences. We just need to be smart about how we choose our friends. But I trust in Brock's judgment. And, sidebar, parenthetically, as an elf, really begrudges me to say that. However, um, I everything you've laid out and everything we've been through for myself, I don't see any other way. So I can't disagree.
Yeah.
Very well. If we are in agreement, then I say we gather ourselves for a journey. We will visit Lady Vargas. Hopefully, she will be uh, in town today, and we will tell the tale of how we came across this necklace. We will present it to her as a gift, and hopefully that will secure a friendship between us, or at least improve her opinion. And Atticus, supplies in town. We're like Little Dyer, right?
Yes, but you are sitting on top of a mountain of gold. But yeah,
Right,
you
right.
can't eat the golds. But right, you're as far as like other like camping supplies and food. Yes, it is getting pretty dire.
Okay, so and we've got all this gold and silver. Is it in like a chest or something, or do we like I know we put it in sacks. Can we put it like in a crate that we can lock down or something like that? Do we have that kind of thing available?
I will give you a barrel to put it in.
Okay, barrels. We'll take barrel.
Woo!
But yeah, we should take some of that money, and while we're in town, buy some supplies for the camp, so that even if this thing with Lady Vargas doesn't turn out the way we want, we will still have something to eat. Um, and the name of the elder, his name is Marin.
Yes.
Okay, we need to look into getting somebody to come and examine Marin to determine the nature of his illness.
Oh, perhaps they have a priest of Cosgrove we can get to come and look.
We will inquire while we're there.
All right,
Great.
so it sounds like you guys are heading to the overworld map.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if one of you wants to plot the course, just use the little paintbrush. You guys are, from what I can remember, moving at 15 minutes a hex. It is near morning. You have 12 hours of daylight. Oh, also, one more thing. From last session, a town's guard in Maurice's reach, here, which is under Lady Vargas, explained that she wasn't there, but was at her camp.
Right. So that might be a better place to go looking for her.
Great.
Yeah. So do we just want to let's stride up the beach?
Sure.
Oh, also, the Silent Knight is not joining you.
Yeah, we pointedly don't invite her, I think, because we know that she is apparently part of some sort of weird moon worshipping cult that is not on good terms with the locals. So
Oh.
we'll just leave her. We'll just leave her home.
Okay,
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, she stays.
So do you want me to draw on here? Just like we're going straight to this camp?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, whoop, forest, and then new camp, or Lady Vargas's potential location.
Yeah, so you guys, the pale green is just sparse vegetation.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys walk about a mile and a half. It takes you 50 minutes to get there. So almost an hour's walk away. And as you approach the camp, you are intercepted by two knights with a herald. It's red with a gold trim. It is a chalice pouring water onto a rose bush. And yeah, as you they look like they're just kind of patrolling around the camp, and as you guys approach the camp, they are riding towards you.
I will turn to everybody and kind of reassure them, hold your ground. We're here as friends. Then I will raise my hand and call out to them as they approach.
What ho! You there! What business do you have to approach our camp?
We seek an audience with Lady Vargas to report on a task she had us perform.
He kind of looks over his shoulder, realizing you guys came from the camp. You guys can see that from this vantage point, they can actually see your camp because they have the high ground and you guys are on the coast.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, you're from there. Come with me." And they slowly ride their horse on either side of you as you guys just kind of file in from the south, approaching the campfire. And he gets off his horse, hands it over to a stable boy, and motions for you to follow him. He goes to the west side of the big tent right here as you follow him, and there are two guards, guarding the entrance, and he looks back at you and he says, "Wait here." And he walks into the tent.
I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for anyone that, or anything that might be associated with Cosgrove Worshipper.
You do see, over by the campfire, there is one person who's got a shield rosary, and he's in mid prayer, but he looks more like a knight, doesn't, and is equipped with a sword. So you're pretty sure not a cleric.
Okay. Still, it's kind of a nice sign. Kind of comforting.
The guard comes back out and motions you all to go into the big tent.
All right, big tent.
You go in, there's a smell of incense, and you see Lady Lita Vargas, again, a very slight build, polyethnic woman with dark hair and dark eyes. And she's accompanied by a taller, athletically built, kind of big boned girl, redhead. And Brock, as soon as you walk in, she locks eyes with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Lady Lita Vargas sees you and then goes, "Oh yes, yes, please, have a seat." And
chairs or cushions or something.
yeah, they're pillows.
All right.
Sure.
And as you do that, the redhead says, "And come no further than a league from milady." Or no nearer, sorry, no nearer.
Well, I will nod, look to the rest of my friends, and nod to them as well.
Sure. I'll find
Then we'll have a seat.
cushion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sit on a cushion, sure.
Yeah, so she kind of looks around at your motley crew and then looks back at you, Brock, and says, "So, I hear you completed a task for me."
Right. So I could tell the story at this point. I'm worried that it might become the Matt show for a minute, or I could just say that I tell the story as well as I can. But I'll leave it up to the group whether they want to hear me tell the story or we just let the dice decide.
I figure we could just be like, and the story was told, and you roll, and we go on to the new stuff or whatever. Unless Kellen really, really, really wants to know what happened the last couple of sessions.
Oh no, we can roll. It's cool.
Sure.
Okay, so it sounds like we'll just kind of do the lights fade out and then fade back in kind of thing.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I do try to make the story sound very, very exciting. It's emphasizing our prowess in battle, talking about uh, the menacing nature of the tree and the undead, the dread champion who rose out of the ocean, all that kind of stuff. And then, for effect, as the story comes to a close, kind of place the necklace out on a pillow, kind of spread it out all nicely, and then close it with saying, "And we offer you this token that we hope shows our value as friends and our that we stay to our oaths."
when you pull out the necklace, both of their eyes just pop wide open. Like the redhead like goes from glaring at you to like absolute shock of seeing that necklace. And then like the redhead kind of leans in and whispers. If you guys want to do a quick hear noise check, and kind of whispers to Lady Vargas, and Lady Vargas just kind of like nods.
Fail.
No one heard it.
I'm sorry. What do I roll for that?
Listen at door.
Yeah, that.
And you can click on the words in your character sheet to make it roll.
And you kind of have to do it twice because it brings up a little
Oh yeah.
confirmation box.
Oh yeah, I didn't write any value here. I just wrote 2 and 6 chance of hearing noises.
Then just roll a d6.
You can do a /R or /roll in the chat. Swordfisk,
Got
I
it.
don't. Did you? I don't know if you saw that it didn't actually roll it, but if you type
Yeah,
a /, okay.
I'm so sorry. What do I type to make this command work?
A / and then exactly what you just typed. We'll do it.
Oh, yeah. Your elven ear. What do your elven ears hear? No, you hear the redhead whisper to Lady Vargas, "That's from the calabash."
I'm the only one that hears this?
Yep. Oh, wait, I guess Seth didn't roll, so unless Seth wants to roll listen at door.
Hmm.
Therum, I
I
mean.
don't think I'm very good at it, but all right. Nope.
Okay, yep. So only Svardvisk actually hears what they whisper. But then Lady Vargas regains her composure and goes, "We humbly accept this gift."
So wait,
Hmm.
they said it's from the what now?
The calabash.
Do we have a frame of reference for what the calabash is?
Nope. You've spent all of 2 seconds in town. Well, no, in Maurice's reach, you've spent all of 2 seconds in town. Both times, honestly. The only amount of time you've spent in town was Berry Pont, and you specifically went to the church and then immediately left.
Oh, all right. Well, at this point, I would like to interject and say, let's see. How much do we trust her? How much? It's hard
It's
for
up
me
to
to know
you,
how to.
man.
Yeah, it's hard for me to know how to play this right.
There is no right. There is just
I
what you
know, right?
decide.
Yeah. So I just ask. I just go ahead and ask. I say, and the calabash is.
Does anybody want to remind Svardvisk how to address Lady Vargas? I'll give one of it. Anybody.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while.
Milady.
Milady, right? I will. Brock will very quickly raise his hands to Svardvisk and says, "You address Lady Vargas as Milady."
Milady.
Oh, yes. You know, eavesdropping can be dangerous. Limb walker. since you asked, the Calabash is an old ship that about 2 or 3 years ago, a galleon full of jewelry sailed from a distant kingdom on its way to another distant kingdom. Supposedly, it landed, or it crashed, here, somewhere on the North Shore. Thought it mostly a legend, but this could have only come from the Calabash.
Because of its great beauty? What? How are you so sure, milady?
Those opals only come from a region very far away. Nothing like that exists in the kingdom of Vassith.
Oh. They are quite striking.
Milady, forgive my rudeness earlier. If I may ask a question, does that mean that if we could perhaps trace the origins of this necklace, we could find our way to that shipwreck?
Looking for that shipwreck may be an issue. For you see, it didn't just crash by any unfortunate event, nothing like a storm. No, something far more sinister. A giant kraken, supposedly living somewhere on the North Shore.
I drop my jaw at this. I am agape at the announcement of a kraken.
Looking for that ship will mean crossing paths with that menace.
Yikes.
I turn to our elf friend. It's like, so, any experience hunting squid?
None of that size.
Huh.
I've heard legends from my family, from my people, of an ancient method to hunt kraken, but it required the whole clan, and those ways were lost a long time ago.
It might. hmm, I go back to being silent.
Well, maybe having resources is important, of course, because as you know, my lady, our village, our people are in search of a new home, and perhaps with resources like that, we would be able to purchase a plot of land to live on or something. I don't think we have that much right now.
Or perhaps Milady knows of a stretch of land that needs to be tamed. We are vigorous people who are not afraid to work and not afraid to fight.
There is a stretch of land that requires some pacification and has some structure to it. It will be west of the kingdom of Vassith and north of the dwarven kingdoms. It would be technically its own territory, though our reach doesn't go out that far. So the monsters there may prove treacherous. Though, if they were killed, then I guess that land could be yours.
That sounds pretty good. I'll look eagerly around at my companions.
Brock will give a
Finding a
stoic nod.
finding a home for us all that we could call our own seems like a worthy goal.
Direct us to it, my lady. We would be quite grateful. And
Yeah.
if you could tell us what manner of monsters dwell there, we would appreciate it.
Lizard men mostly. They're slow on land, but quick in the water.
I hate lizard men. Why did it have to be lizard men?
So I'm going to take you back to the overworld map.
All right.
She looks at your map and says, yes, the border of Vassith ends here. And the Dwarf Kingdom starts here. Perhaps in this square mile, you could have a home. It is elevated, so the seawater won't wash away the good soil. And is only a mile away from Maurice's reach.
Yeah.
Is there access to fresh water there?
Given the vegetation there, I would assume that there's possibly a water table.
Wells, then. Okay. And this this icon here, do we know what that is, or have we run into that before?
That is rough overgrowth.
Okay.
So lots of long grass. That area is basically where you would expect predators to hide.
Certainly some cleaning up to do. And my lady thinks that the dwarfs would be okay with us living there? Perhaps?
Our association with the dwarves has always been tricky. Though, if you're not taking any of their territory, I don't understand how they could be too upset about it.
Well, certainly a conversation to have.
All right. Well, do we want to talk to Lady Vargas about anything else, or do we just want to hit the bricks?
Any other questions about the calabash?
Not at this time, but the thoughts of that sunken ship and that kraken linger in my mind. But I am on that. I'm not down to get too sidetracked on that for now.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Thank you for
Okay.
maintaining the landscape and taking out that ugly tree. And thank you for the gift.
You are most welcome, my lady.
You are
And we will-
you are relieved.
All right. So where to next?
So it's
So we could
elevation.
probably. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's elevation change that adds a slowdown factor.
5 minutes every time.
Okay. That's not too bad.
I'll say that whole interaction took about we'll say 10 minutes, so an hour.
Okay. Okay.
We'll need a place to cross the river if we're going to go check out this tempting plot of land area.
Uh-huh.
We could make use of the roads to make it a little easier if we wanted to travel that way.
Well, and we do know that the roads are a little bit safer because we took out the bandits.
Perfect.
So if we just want to I'm just going to draw. I'm not saying that this is like our locked in path, but I'm just going to kind of indicate what I think could be a path. So we could do something like that. We could, I forget which town this is right here along our path.
Is that Maurice's Reach?
That's
Maurice's
Berry
Reach.
Pont.
Oh, right.
Berry
Right.
Pond.
Maurice's Reach is to the northwest.
Right.
Yes.
Maurice's Reach is this one. So we could stop at Berry Pont on our way through and see if they have any of the supplies or personnel we might need.
I like that
Or
idea.
Yeah. And again, we don't have to buy anything, but just knowing what's there would be handy.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Everyone okay with this longer trek here?
That seems alright
Yeah,
to me.
let's go for it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 15 minutes a hex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so 6 passed by. That's an hour and a half, 2.5 hours of daylight burned, and you end up in Berry Pont. Whoop. I will give you all a quick layout of the buildings, and then I have to take a quick bio break. But let's get through this real quick. So there are 4 houses within town. Oh yeah, by the way, when you stop by in Berry Pont, you do notice that it's got a wooden gate closed up. There are more houses outside the walls, not as many, but there are a few. And then there are even more houses within the walls, but not necessarily at the city center. As you approach the city center, this is the church. This is the pawnbroker / tailor. This is the butcher. This the baker. The blacksmith maker. Cemetery. Plaza. Oh, cemetery. Plaza. Park. Hospital. Tavern with, a kitchen, storeroom, brewery, and storeroom. And yeah, hospital. And the city streets. And yeah, actually 2.5 hours daylight burned. At this point, yeah, it's there. These streets are getting crowded. You can hear some vendors at these little wooden stands. They're saying fish, fresh fish. And people are also kind of congregating in this corner where the tavern and the hospital meet. There are people. There are some people kind of like rolling dice, playing street craps. And so yeah, that's what's going on. I'll let you guys discuss them on yourselves, and I'll be back real quick.
This
All right.
church Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking that we should probably split up just to cover more ground, send somebody to the church to see if they've got a priest who might be able to help us, and somebody else to ask about supplies.
I
Uh,
think we've met this priest already. This is
That
Cosmo.
yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. I couldn't remember what his name was though.
He's the one that told us about the blighted tree in the first place.
Okay.
well, we
So
can tell them that we did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You got to be willing to help out more. Then.
And then what was the other thing we wanted to do?
Supplies.
Oh, yeah.
I can head off, get supplies.
Maybe we want to pair up, or nobody goes alone.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy
system.
Yeah, I'll do the supply run. If y'all don't mind, I could maybe grab some more arrows and a dagger.
Should be all right.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And we didn't quite go over it in the summary, but after we did all of the undead hunting and the tree stuff last time, we also cleared out a bandit camp. That's where Goldie was killed. And we took all their stuff, so we're kind of loaded right now. We've got like 5,000 gold pieces in a barrel, and we got spending cash right now. So if there's stuff that we need to like improve our like situation, we do have the cash to do it.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of coin.
Yeah. And like it was enough coin that it actually sent me immediately to the part of the rule book that's all about like base building and stuff. Because I thought that this is a pretty good start to actually doing like the, or getting ourselves a proper home. I mean, it's it takes hundreds of thousands of gold to like really properly build a castle or whatever, but uh if we can keep up the treasure acquisition through our adventuring, we could actually probably build ourselves a nice little town of our own.
Nice. I like it. Don't forget to look for any supplies that might be of use to Marin Shieldheart, and those of us going to the chapel can ask the priest there about it as well. Any kind of tonics or strength restores, restorative drafts. Yeah. So do we know who's going where? I'll go to the chapel.
I guess I'm off to the blacksmith.
I think I'd go to the chapel with you.
Okay.
And that puts what, me and Svardik on supplies?
And Therum.
And Therum, right. All right, good plan.
Yeah. And get a good price, but don't take too long.
I love it. Religions and weapons of war.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back, and so it sounds to me like one party is venturing into the church, and the other is kind of venturing just into the smith specifically, or just kind of looking around the shops.
Smith eventually to get dagger and arrows, but we're also Brock's priority is to get supplies for the camp, so he's looking for inexpensive food with a shelf life.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Butter and hardtack, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So we will do the church first. So approaching from the west going east, you can see people are filing out, but not necessarily in a huge crowd. Service must have been done maybe 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. Some people are still lingering. Walking into the church, you see that Father Cosgrove is still at the altar. And he's talking to some of the townspeople. They're just like, just kind of talking, and eventually they file out, and he's like, "May Cosgrove's shield protect you." And yeah, so that's what he's doing. Some people are at the altar just kind of by themselves praying. Yeah, but it's not like a beacon of activity.
Would you mind talking, or would you mind getting his attention, Melina?
All right. Father Cosmo?
Ah, Melina. It is
Yes,
good to see
remember
you.
me.
Yes,
Wow.
of course. You said that you were actually going to take up going to that blight tree. I actually was worried when I didn't see you for a couple days. I thought I'd sent you to your death.
Well, it was kind of miraculous, actually, but it turned out I sent some of the skeletons away, and then they attacked more people, so it was bad, but then it was good again. They're all taken care of now. All good.
You truly are one of Cosgrove's chosen.
Well, I didn't really do anything. It was the rest of my compatriots.
You were an important part of the group. Don't play yourself down too much.
Well, anyway, we wanted to let you know that, and also to see if you or anyone else you know of might be able to come and help my grandfather, Marin Shieldheart. He's been taken poorly these last day or two.
Oh my, that is unfortunate to hear. He kind of like looks around, and he says, "I'll speak with my fellow clergy and see what I can do about it."
Thank you, Father Cosmo.
But
Thank you so much.
hopefully, I will pray for your father.
Thank you. Well, with Cosgrove's strength, he can get through anything.
May Cosgrove's shield protect you.
Thank you, and you as well.
And while that's going on, you guys, so the rest of y'all, approaching from the east, walking down through this entrance. You hear the vendors yelling over each other, "Incense! Incense! Spices! Spices!" But also there are the big buildings, with the giant gilded signs that swing, and you jump up and hit with your head because it's Skyrim. And anyways, but one's got an anvil on it, which is the nearest building towards you. This is clearly a blacksmith, and you can smell sweetbread coming from this bakery over here. And as you guys keep walking down the street, you can smell like meat from the butcher. And yeah, the pawnbroker, it does kind of have a sign, but the sign's like a little broken, a little bit. And the storefront, yeah, the window doesn't look that clean. But yeah, it's there, but it's just kind of like, it doesn't have the presentation that the other three storefronts do. And of course, while you're walking down the street, people are kind of like walking by you, kind of bumping into you. And
Ugh, city folk. Start with the blacksmith, since that's most likely going to result in what we want.
Yeah, well, let's just jog into there real quick. So what's this blacksmith like?
so there are a bunch of unnamed NPCs that aren't major important, but also work at the blacksmith. But the major one, the one that has a name, and a description attached. He has short hair, very kind of unkempt, sticking up, and mustache. His face is dirty with ash and soot, and he wears like heavy gloves and a heavy apron. And you see that he's just finished dousing some tools. He kind of like wipes the sweat from his forehead, and as you guys walk in, he goes, we have a bunch of tools over there, and some weapons. We got mostly blades, utility knives, that kind of thing. If you're looking for something specific, I might be able to, depending on the project, I might be able to get it to you within a week or two. But feel free to look around.
Yeah, would you, of these knives you've described, do you have anything that you could use to defend yourself in monster combat?
Oh, yeah. And he points over, so where he keeps the knives, it's like kind of like a mall ninja display where it's just like a bunch of, just like on various racks, all sorts. And actually, there is one of the workers, he's like kind of cleaning one of the knives, polishing it, and then putting it back on the rack, straightening another knife, kind of thing, making it look good. But yeah, there's like a bunch of daggers.
All right. Well, the guy I approached the gentleman who's polishing them and cleaning them. Before heading over there to my compatriots, I say, well, I'll go ahead and take a look at what I want. If you all want to take a look around and see if there's anything here you'd like. I'm gonna chat with this gentleman, and I approach him and just ask him, so what do you like? Gesturing towards the daggers.
The unnamed descriptionless NPC, he's like, I've always been a fan of the double blade, more versatility. And he pulls one out. It's got like a red ribbon kind of handle with a steel shaft and steel blade. And it's got a mirror quality to it.
Yeah. Let me see how it feels in my hand.
I mean, it's a knife. What, do you just start stabbing the air?
No, I'm due like Doug Marcaida from Forged in Fire, where I'm just kind of moving with it and going, yeah, this is really well balanced. Yeah, I really like the feel of it. It fits into my hand. It's got good indexing. I'm using all the lingo. I clearly know what I'm talking about, and I go, well, sir, you've just made yourself a sale.
Oh, thank you. And the blacksmith, as you were talking, he kind of looks up and he gives like a nod, like, yeah, this guy's the real deal, and goes back to what he's doing.
All right, and do you guys carry any arrows?
Yeah, we got some. We only do like we don't carry too much because typically people go to either the pawnbroker for that, but we got some new arrows. Pawnbroker mostly has second-hand arrows, but I could sell. I think I have a quiver lying around that I can part with.
I mean, do you? Yeah. Let's do that. I could use an extra quiver. Let's go.
Okay, so you've added to your shopping cart dagger and quiver of arrows. Is there anything else you're adding to the shopping cart?
I'm good. I'm gonna be mostly long range for now. I just wanted to make sure I had something for if I was in a pinch with my back to a wall. So I feel a lot more secure with that dagger.
Okay. So you notice that the dagger pommel and the arrowheads, like at the shaft, not at the blade, but like right as the shaft meets the wood, there is a DC. And also on the pommel, there's a DC.
Oh yeah, right. The artist's initials, I'm sure.
Okay, and those are your items. What about everybody else in this blacksmith?
I'm just here to, as part of the buddy system, I'm going to be moving on to getting supplies as soon as we're done here.
Yep, and I'm good. So I'm ready to. Yeah, let's take a look at those.
Let's boogie.
So going down the street, one of the street vendors does kind of catch your eye. He's playing a violin and he's singing about Cardosa, Cardosa, the greatest traveling merchant of all time. Come see my wares from far and away. And the crowd is just absolutely loving it, and yeah. His spread looks to be like all sorts of weird trinkets. Not necessarily magical, but like an incense case, a tin to keep pepper in, yeah, just odd junk.
Yeah. Trinkets and tchotchkes.
Yeah, but he is of all the street vendors, he is like getting the crowd. He's working the crowd.
Oh. Well, we're kind of looking for somebody, I think, a bit more local who's able to give us like practical bulk goods. So
Fair.
we'll appreciate the violin for a moment, but we'll move on.
Okay. Yeah, he's seen his name multiple times. He's Nikolai Cardosa. You've basically because of the song you now know his name. And
That's marketing, baby.
Yep. And you guys walk into the bakery. Again, a bunch of unnamed, descriptionless NPCs, but one, it's a halfling. He's got brown curly hair that just is kind of like an afro, not quite an afro, but it's definitely getting there. Brown eyes, white guy, wearing a baker's apron, and yeah, he's rolling some dough along with some of the other workers there, and he looks up and he goes, "Ah, I forgot my name. No, welcome to Silverleafs. Welcome to Silverleafs. Please have a look around. We just pulled out some fresh sweetbread."
All right. Well, I will get his attention. I'll explain to him what we want or what we need. No sweetbreads or cinnamon rolls or whatever. We're looking for pretty like high density preserved foodstuffs, and we're gonna ask if he can provide something like that in bulk.
Oh, sea biscuits. Yeah, I can make loads of those. But are you sure you want something with a little more flavor? I mean, that seems kind of boring.
I appreciate your concern about our palate, sir, but we are literally living on a beach.
All right, fair enough. And he steps off the stool because he's a halfling who is making dough. Steps off the stool or jumps off the stool, and he walks towards the back of the shop. Yeah, over here where there's a case, and he goes and he pulls out paper and pad, and he starts writing down like how many villagers there are and stuff like that. He's happy to deliver. Um, as long, or actually, no, he's not happy to deliver. He will pick it up, but it's about 500 gold, and your food problems are over for 500 gold.
That's a steal. We'll take it.
We got a barrel. We can handle
Yeah, we
all
should
these
also get some
problems.
crates and stuff, huh?
Maybe.
Okay, so yeah, after he's done writing the paperwork and you negotiate the price for 500 gold, he's like, okay, I won't be able to make it all at once, but I will be able to make it in installments, and you guys can come by and pick it up.
All right, we'll plan to do it. When will the first batch be ready?
He's looking around as all the bakers are like, getting the pastries and stuff, and he goes, pretty busy at the moment. I'll because of your situation, I'll get it the day after tomorrow. Will be the first batch, and that should at least get you guys well enough before I can get the other installments to you.
All right. Well, we'll thank the man and consider that a task accomplished.
After the deal, he actually gives you all a piece of sweetbread, because it was a big order. He's like, please, sure. have this for today.
All right. Well, I'll thank him. I'll take mine, but I won't eat it.
Therum, Svardvisk, do you take?
Oh yes, I take it and I just put it in with the rest.
I accept it. And how hungry are we at this exact moment?
You've had breakfast. It's like 2 hours after dawn, so it's not quite lunchtime.
Oh well, then yeah. I put it away. Like with the other bread, like not like put it away, like.
Oh, and you deducted the gold for the arrows and dagger?
I'm not sure who's keeping track of the
big pile.
overall gold supply. Let me see.
You have 7,600 gold pieces effectively.
Woo.
Okay. Okay, and it was 500 for the food, and how much for the dagger and quiver?
Looking up the prices now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit the button. 8 gold total.
8 gold. Okay. I'll put us at 7,092. Okay, we're still looking pretty good.
Sweet.
So are we ready to continue on?
Well, yeah, you guys can continue on towards the pawnbrokers or meet up with Stickbeard and Melina. It's kind
Is
of
there
up to
anything
you.
that we need from the pawnbroker? I mean,
well, there's also the butcher shop.
yeah, and we'll probably add more like food, more variety of food once we've like gotten a little bit more established. But I think we're good for now.
Yeah, the bread probably is gonna hold us over until we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should just meet back up with Melina and Stickbeard.
Sounds good.
And I think that when we do, Brock is going to hold out the sweet bread sample that he was given to Melina. And he will say, I told the baker I was traveling with a lovely young woman, and he said to give you this.
Oh man, she's not going to be able to talk for like 45 minutes. But she takes it from you. steps back behind someone.
All right, on we go.
Back to the overworld map. We'll say that actually took about 20 minutes, so you guys are at 2 hours and 50 minutes of daylight burned. And 1, 2. You do stop by Chorus's 30 minutes.
Can we like rap on his door and see if he's in?
Sure.
I'd like to meet this Chorus.
Guys approach again, just like last time. There's this big old glass orb in front of the house that's got clouds kind of swirling around it.
And I can't remember. Did we like speak into the orb last time? He communicates through it, right?
You just yelled. Like you didn't approach the orb, you just yelled and he eventually came out.
Right. Well, we'll do that again.
What? Who's there? Hold on. I'll be all right. Oh, Brock! And Stickbeard. Oh, and you brought friends. Oh, come in.
I'll kind of hustle everyone in, but I will kind of shout back that we can't stay long. We just needed to drop in to make introductions and ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, nonsense. I have some tea going, please.
All right, now we're having tea.
As soon as Svardvisk, you show up, he looks at you, and in Elvish he says, may you walk with the grace of nature.
In Elven, I reply, and you. Wait. What race is this man?
He's an elf. And he's
Okay.
actually, his hair is super white. He's got pointy ears, and he looks like, he's taller and stuff. His eyes are bronze colored, but he's got white hair. And you being an elf, Svardvisk, know that he's very old. Like, elves don't get white hair unless they've lived at least 1,000 years.
Oh dang! Still, I say it is always a comfort, and this is all in Elven. I say it is always a comfort to be with my own people, and an honor for to be a guest in your home.
And he says, please, you do me the honor.
This is just a complete 180. I say I actually I have several questions for you actually when we can get some time. How you've survived, how long you've lived here at this location and survived this long on your own, as a solitary elf. Which just there's so much we could learn from you.
In time, though we have been speaking Elvish for a while, we should... Yeah. Sorry, everyone. We were just, you know how we, limb walkers are.
Yes, we had just barely finished our hello, but yes, let's be moving on.
So, sits down. How is the hero? I have been telling everybody in Maurice's Reach about your escapades and also the sacrifice of one of your own. I'm trying to convince the people of Moirasis Reach to build Goldie a memorial.
We appreciate the sentiment, sir, but we are mourning in our own way.
Understand?
Well, I will, as the tea is served, I will tell him where we're going. Kind of describe the region that has been pointed out to us, and I'll ask him if he knows anything about it or anything about who might dwell there.
Well, not far from here are some more ruins, and where there are ruins, there are lizard men. I don't know why, but for some reason they just have an attraction to those old buildings.
Tell me about the lizard men. Can they be negotiated with? Are they intelligent?
They're intelligent in so much enough to learn to kidnap people like us and eat them. They are only loyal to other lizard men. And their hunger is voracious.
That sounds pretty dangerous.
Stickbeard and Melina, you can kind of think back on the lizard men you killed, and it looked pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. Scary times.
Well, it is our goal to find their hideouts and drive them from the area so that we might have a home of our own.
Oh! I see we're going to be neighbors.
I truly hope so, sir.
Well, then I wish you luck on your quest.
All right, lizard men.
We do appreciate the tea.
Yeah, is the tea any good?
Is it Elvish tea?
Yeah, it's more for like the elvish palate, though. Basically, like if you're a real hardcore vegan, you'll like it. But
Delicate and floral.
Yes.
And this is the best thing I have had in days.
I'm sure Brock drinks it to be polite. All right. If anybody else has anything to ask the old man, he also last time we were here, he did some identifying of our like items to find magic stuff. So that's one of his skills.
Oh.
I don't think we have anything new to identify, though.
No, we haven't acquired anything since.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, let's keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for the hospitality.
Oh, of course. And, if a few of you want to need a place to crash, I can pull out some extra cots. But, I can't have the whole town stay over. I hope you understand.
Of course, sir.
Yeah. Only reasonable.
And in Elven, I say, and I look forward to our next meeting.
And he replies, as do I. Yeah, also, whenever he talks in Elvish, he sounds more serious than when he talks in Common.
So as we leave, I'm actually going to take Svardfisk aside, and I'm gonna, ask him something. Svardfisk, that term, limwalker, I've heard it many times. Is it polite?
It's
No, it is not.
It is. It is very much not so. Try to let it roll off my back. But it's what I come to expect from lower life forms.
Well, I think Brock will let that wash off his back a little bit.
Sorry, I'm a little hard to get along with.
Well, he kind of, Brock nods and then he says, "Well, uh, let just now be the last time I ever utter it." And he nods and takes his place at the front of the line.
I nod back and accept that show of respect.
Okay, so this actually would be a great opportunity for maybe Melina to return back to camp with the supplies,
Ah, yes.
allowing the rest of the party to join. Though, if you do leave the stream, we'll have to find someone else to share their screen. So, Joe, are you up to that task?
I've also got a deck out, but only for like 5 minutes. So
Oh.
I don't know if you want me to share my screen when I'm not at my computer.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, if your web browser is at full screen,
Oh, if,
or
if it doesn't matter.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I'd leave mine on, but I wouldn't be able to like pan around or zoom in or anything.
Right, right.
Okay, well, I'll stop sharing, and I look forward to hearing of the adventures.
Yeah. Thanks for playing, Jessica.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Until next time, Melina.
Okay, Joe, you just let me know when you got the browser full screened and everything.
It should be up and going.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I will start this. Bam. Okay, great. Hey, looks good. So 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 50 minutes. You went on the road, blah, blah, 2 hours, 3 hours and 25 minutes. And you guys go to these ruins. Are you going to investigate these ruins?
The ones on the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
think-
should. If nothing else, if we can clear them out and they can form a kind of home base we can retreat back to, that would be handy.
I don't think these are ones that we've seen before. So
Nope, they are not.
No, I like that plan.
Yeah, let's check them out.
Okay. I will load the map here in a minute.
Still trying to get the map.
Almost. I think I do actually have it now. So we shall see.
Ah, there we go.
And Roll20 being Roll20 will not res. I mean, it looks great on my computer, but yeah, I do not understand.
There
Oh,
we go.
hey, there it goes. Jeez, you got to zoom in like 3 or 4 times. There.
That seems to be the trick. If I zoom out enough, it'll suddenly be like, oh yeah, let me refresh that. And then it's all good.
So you guys
Are we here?
Yeah, you're here,
Okay.
approaching
Could
from
you,
the east.
Yeah. Can you describe what we're seeing a little bit, or is the map
Oh, sure.
one-to-one?
So, yeah, basically what you see is a giant pile of debris in front of you. So you can recognize some of it as like broken statues, but it's all broken and weathered so badly that you can't necessarily know what they depict. And yeah, there's just like it looks like an entryway into the tower.
So is the tower collapsed? Is it just this one floor, or does it rise several stories?
The top is broken off. So it's like
Okay,
no ceiling.
Okay. So multiple stories, or just the one with no ceiling?
One with no ceiling.
Okay.
And everybody give me a listen at door. And Brock?
There we go.
Okay. No. Everything's fine.
Okay. I will look to the party, and I will heft my shield, and I'll say, let me go first. You follow along behind. And I will get out my sword, and I will cautiously climb up these steps right here.
Okay, I'll hang back and notch an arrow and just be at the ready facing the entrance.
Yeah, just pull out my axe and follow closely behind.
Okay, so Brock, actually move 1 hex back. As soon as you step there, I'm going to get them ready. From either side of the corridor, behind the walls, are 4 lizardmen. They stand about 8 feet tall. They have a mouth like a crocodile and a head shape like a crocodile. They kind of walk hunched back, I guarantee. And they also wear red hats. No. But yeah, they kind of like walk basically like crocodile men. And as soon as you step on, they just kind of like, yeah, they come out from either side of the corridor, and they look at you, and one of them kind of starts snapping its jaw at you.
I don't immediately attack. Or okay.
Roll initiative.
All right.
So which one of you?
Let's just
Oh,
go
gosh.
in Roll20 order. So how about we start with Stickbeard?
Stickbeard,
Alright.
roll initiative.
If I can remember where it is on the sheet.
Oh, it's under the combat
Oh,
section.
cool.
Ooh.
Oof. And Kellen, for your benefit, it's one roll for the group.
So the crocodiles go first. And everybody will go next, except for the people with slow weapons. They go last. So if you have a battle axe, you go last.
I know.
Okay.
Pour salt in the wound.
So only one of the lizard men can actually attack because, as you are reminded, they move slow on land. Brock, one of the lizard man in front, tries to take a bite out of you. And your armor class is 15, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep, misses. He kind of bites, and you, with your shield, kind of like get under his jaw, and he just kind of bites the air uselessly. But he's trying to like tilt his head down over your shield.
All right.
Your turn.
Well, okay. Let's think about this for a second.
Is that corridor only 2 bodies thin, so to speak?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Maybe
Okay.
like 2.5, something like that.
Alright. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I think we have two general strategies here. One is that we get somebody up to plug this hole next to me. And that will mean that only 2 lizard men can attack us at a time.
I'm assuming that this is my token back here. I
Yep.
will run up. Forget. I can run. I'm not encumbered, so I can run. What is it? 20 yards.
40
Like
feet.
that.
40 feet.
40 feet. So perfect. I run up and go right there. Actually, I'll go
Oh,
right there.
and I'll nod briskly as you join me, and I'm going to attack that lizard man right in front of me.
All right.
I roll a 10.
That is a miss. So you go and you strike back. It kind of like pushes on your shoulder, and you're just not able to get the momentum to hit him with your sword.
Mm-hmm.
You move 40 feet. You still have an active action there, Therum.
Oh, I just realized I do have a battle axe, so I do go last.
Okay, well then we'll just do the elf first, because he's the only non-battle axe wearer user.
All right, I'll take a shot at the lizard man that's harassing Brock.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll. It's at short range, so give yourself +1. You can just roll a d20.
Do I do that under the? Oh, I just do roll d20.
I mean, you could just roll d20 if you. I can look at your character sheet. That is a hit. So your damage for arrows is d6.
D6.
Yep.
Oh, so I just roll one of those now?
Yep, roll a d6. Okay, so the shot is good, but really doesn't. It's a more of a grazing blow, kind of gets him in the shoulder. Slight. I don't know what do gators bleed? Green blood? I don't know, but yeah, some of that. But yeah, you can tell that the shot kind of went wide on his shoulder. You nicked him. First blood, though. First damage goes to you guys. Okay, now the slow dwarves. What do the slow dwarves do?
Oh, I take a swing at this lead guy
Okay,
right next to him. All right,
swing away.
swinging. Whew, that
Natural one just means you miss. That's all.
Yep. Good at missing.
All right. And yep.
There's not enough room to fight effectively in the corridor, it looks like.
I will say because Theron's a dwarf and you're a dwarf, you could squeeze on his right side.
Like here? Or there or there? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll at least put me in a better position to help.
Okay.
I don't have a ranged weapon, though.
Well, you
I
can
guess
just
could, like squeeze past, right?
yeah. If you
Okay.
wanted to take the front line, you could squeeze past both of them and kind of break flank. But it doesn't sound like that's what you guys want to do.
And I don't want to put myself in the way of 3 strikes.
Yeah.
I'd rather not die. So, shore up this flank then.
Okay.
I do have a tactic for next round, but we're gonna have to survive all these lizard men first.
Let's
Okay.
roll initiative. Therum.
All right.
Yeah.
Lizard men go first. So, first lizard man attacks Brock again, the one on the bottom. It's a miss.
Okay.
And now the top one will attack Therum. What is your AC, Therum?
12, I think.
12?
12. Yes.
Barely a miss. It bites and you can its teeth clink right by your ear. Like you know that if you just leaned one side too far, you would have been bitten off. This other one is just kind of the two in the back are trying to get by, but the two in the front are just fighting them as much as they're fighting you. Everybody wants to eat.
All right. Well, Is it our turn now?
Yes, they did their 2 attacks, and the other 2 are trying to climb over the front 2. So yes.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and hold my ground. I'm gonna make another attack with the sword at the guy in front of me.
That's a miss.
It's a miss. So for the dwarves, I have a suggestion for tactics. So what you can do is up front here. I forget who this is.
Oh, Therum.
Therum. Okay,
Fall
so
back.
Therum, what you can do is do a fighting withdrawal. It lets you make an attack and then move up to half your normal speed.
Mm.
So what you can do is you can attack this guy, move back 1 space, and that'll clear that space for Stickbeard to move into, and then make an attack.
Ah.
And we can kind of cycle that, where you guys can kind of do this thing where you're coordinating to do a step attack and then step back.
Ah,
And
yes.
It'll keep the we'll keep the
Keep the
alley
rotation
blocked
going.
that way.
Yeah. All right.
That works.
So, I guess I'll go then. All right.
Are we
Haha.
are we still going last because of axes?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
I do have to.
I will let you
All right.
keep that roll though, because that would just be mean otherwise.
It also doesn't really matter all that much at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Because
Oh yeah,
It's just
because it doesn't affect either of your turns. So, but yeah, let's
Right.
Svardfisk.
okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll take another shot. Same lizard.
What spells do you got there, Svardfisk? Just wondering.
Oh right. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. I'll cast sleep. I'll do sleep. See if I can
Okay.
make them all go to bed.
Roll 2d8.
Ooh.
They are all asleep.
All of them are?
Yeah, you rolled pretty well.
Okay, well.
Yeah. I wish I had thought of that.
This always feels like the most grisly part, but we take them out while they're sleeping.
I'll take my arrow back.
Yeah, if you were using one of the new arrows, I'll say that it's of a good enough quality that, like, you can use it again. Arrow didn't break.
Sweet. Thank you.
So yeah, you guys end up stabbing all the lizard men, and
Tap, tap, tap.
That
lots of green blood. It's like
That's
you
a-
know, it's like Kill Bill where you stab them in the throat and
fountains.
All right. Well, having that grisly work done, I think we should explore the rest of this tower. What do you say?
Yeah, let's head in.
That sounds reasonable. I'm going to cut
well,
out.
actually,
I'm going to
one quick detail. Because you were the caster there, Svardfisk, what did the sleep spell look like?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah. It looked like manifestation of like this glowing sand dust that just kind of twinkled around, kind of fired off and twinkled around their eyes for a moment, like a little mini fireworks show before kind of evanescing as their eyes fluttered closed.
You think maybe they could hear the soothing sound of the sea, kind of like in their ears as they're lulled to sleep.
Yep, the last thing they'll ever hear.
Jeez.
only a little dark here.
Only a little. Only a little.
So is sleep.
All right. While you guys explore the ruins, I'm going to take my little 5-minute break. I'll be back as quick as I can.
All right. Not a problem. So Stickbeard contemplates what just happened.
Yeah.
The rest of you looking in the ruins, you see that it is an old tower, and this right here is it's a giant like platform, but it's above, right? It's like almost like 4 feet up. And looking at the brickwork, you can see that the top part of it doesn't look mortared or attached to the rest of the foundation.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna give it like an kind of testing shove. Does it feel like it could be pushed off?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna look at Svardvisk because I think he's the only one who's tall enough to help me. Uh,
Yeah, I've got plenty of strength, so yeah, let's do it.
we'll
Therum's
nod together.
Therum's pretty strong too. Like
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
very
but it's
strong.
short.
It's not.
It's like 4 feet
Yeah.
high.
true.
Yeah.
You could pull it onto him.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I'm a sturdy platform when I want to be.
All right. Well, we'll all line up and nod to each other and just shove.
Heave ho.
Okay, because you're all moderately strong. Normally, it's a strength check to see if you can get it off. But no, the three of you with your accumulated strength are able to push the platform off, and inside you immediately like see sparklies. Okay.
Loots. Well.
Oh yeah, I forgot one other detail. Also inside here, not in the vault that you just pushed off, but just kind of in the gathering area, is like the remains of like various humans, halflings, and dwarves. Like they've been stripped of their clothing and just like the bone stripped off the bone. Like this is
Awful.
yeah, this is the lizards eating. This is where they eat. So, okay, but what's inside there in the little cache? It's it's about 15 feet by 15 foot square, and inside, sparklies. There are 31 copper coins. There are 9 silver coins. There are 99 gold coins. There is a partial crown, yellow gold, with a pearl inlay. There are 2 yellow gold framed earrings containing cushion-cut deep blue sapphires, also with a pearl inlay around the sapphires. There is a yellow gold armlet encrusted with various gems covered in matching filigreed that is also fastened with pearls.
Well, all right.
Well, let's get to looting.
Yeah, we can stick all that stuff in a sack. And looking around at these unfortunate bodies, is there like a pile of discarded clothing or anything that we might like identify them from?
Not for the most part. Though after doing some looking, you do find an armored knight, or not a armored knight, an armored man of war, with, he's wearing chainmail, heavier armor, and he's got a shield. The shield depicts a river flowing over a rock, and is of. It is blue with a green trim. Oh, and because you were in Berry Pond, you recognize it as the River Cobb.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, I think we'll take note. We might want to return that particular body to Barapont, but we don't want to carry it around with us. All right. Well, after sacking up the loot and checking the bodies, I'd like to take a look around outside, see if there's anything suspicious or out of the ordinary around the outside of the tower.
Oh, while you're doing that, I can go ahead and see if there might be any secret doors or anything, like in the floor or something here.
go ahead and give me a check.
Which one? Which one is that?
That's a roll of d6, and I believe you have a 2 in 6 chance because you're an elf.
I do.
So just you don't find any. You don't find any secret doors.
Okay.
Is there even? I guess the walls are not thick enough to hide anything like that, huh?
No. This looks like at some point was part of some kind of possibly armory or treasury, though the stashed treasure could have been thieves from not so long ago. Like these ruins are from long ago, but
Right.
maybe before the lizard men were squatting in here, some thieves were squatting in here. You're not sure, though the treasure does all match. Like it's all yellow gold with pearl inlays. There are various other gems, but they all have that yellow gold pearl theme to them.
Are we seeing any motifs or decoration in this building, or is it so old that such things have worn away?
It's most things have worn away. What is left is actually rather impressive. In the first session, Stickbeard looked around at the craftsmanship of other runes, and this rune is no different. These runes are probably thousands of years old.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a circuit around the tower. Do I see anything interesting?
No, just you see more debris, possibly of an old walkway that led to here. But outside of that, just the wind and the distant sound of the ocean.
All right. Well,
All is calm.
let's drag the lizard corpses off the steps and keep exploring.
All right. I think we might have time for. Well, I guess I'll leave it to you guys because we're kind of approaching 2.5 hours, and it's another point of interest is doable, but you could also end up being in the middle of the point of interest during the 3-hour mark. Are you guys okay if we potentially go a little bit over, or would you like to play it safe?
I could go either way on it.
Yeah.
I unfortunately can't really afford to go much past 5.
Okay, then we'll play it safe.
Yeah.
Okay. We will end it here. You guys can. You guys make it back to camp uneventfully, following the roads. And it was midday by the time you got here, so you have plenty of sunlight to make it back with. No need to fear the night.
With our new gains.
Yes, and your new gains, which that's going to be a bunch of experience. So there we go. I'll just send you on over. There you
Woo!
go. One point I will. When you guys get back, the Silent Night's gone.
Ooh, well, I'm gonna ask around camp, ask if anybody has seen her or well, where she went.
Air spec, half giant. He's like 10 or 15 years older than you, Brock. So I don't know, cousin, uncle, however you want to roll with it.
Sure.
Yeah, he goes, oh, yeah. She just started packing up her horse and left. Though she left a whole bunch of symbols on Goldie's grave before she left. You don't think it was a curse, do you?
Well, I will go over to Goldie's grave and take a look.
As would I.
So you go over there. Lucky's there. And over Goldie's grave, like in the dirt, is like some kind of, almost like you're looking through a window in a distant night sky, and she depicts the moon and the stars and the valley and a mountain. But it's, it's kind of like drawn over the earth of Goldie's grave.
Doesn't look like any curse I've ever seen. And I will turn to what's his name, Airspec.
Airspec, yeah.
And I will kind of comfort him, and I will say, the Silent One was as upset as the rest of us when Goldie was killed. I do not believe that she would do anything harmful to her grave.
Where? Do you think she left us? I mean, she was only here for a couple days. You think she might come back?
We can hope so. But if she doesn't, we can trust that whatever has taken her from us was very important. And I will look back at the drawing on the grave. It doesn't look like a map, does it?
No.
Okay. Well, I will swat Airspec on the shoulder and tell him to get back to work.
All right. Because he's Matthew McConaughey. No.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So yeah. And we will end the session there. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for running.
hosting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you, viewers, for watching, whether it was online or offline. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, seeing what Serious Industries does. This is our third installment. Episodes 0, 1, and 2 can actually be seen on the highlights on this channel right here. So check those out. And I'll get the highlight of this one out before too long. Next week, we got episode 4, so don't get too far away for that. See what happens in the next time. And yeah, if you wanted to keep up on all Serious Industry streams, the best way to do that is to give this channel a follow. You can also join us on social media. We have Discord, Facebook, and Twitter, where we do stream announcements. There's also the website, ShatteredEmpire.net. Shattered Empire is a post-apocalyptic interstellar synthwave-fueled tabletop RPG. If you go to the website right now, you can get a free alpha. The free alpha has everything you need to make a character, and if you're a crafty enough game master, you might be able to make your own campaign. So check that out. And thank you all again. This is Abacus Fish signing off.